Hi guys, so I got invited back to Wirral Aquatics to do a behind the scenes before it opened. This scene I was trying to record the living ceiling and then I seen what was in this tank and it absolutely blew me away straight away. I absolutely love stingrays and I don't think I've ever seen these. If anyone doesn't know, these are black diamonds, and as soon as I seen them I was gobsmacked. Look at that Severum background, those were absolutely massive, but look at these rays. These are from Steve's personal collection. What absolutely stunning fish. I can't get enough of stingrays. So I was gobsmacked and stood here for a while recording them. At one time in the hobby, I had my front toes are grown out and I was actually looking at expanding and getting some of these because they're just one of my favourite fish, as well as obviously the front toes. But look at them. I think these are pups that Steve's bred and he's brought them into the shop to showcase them. Well, the size of that pleco in the background. It just, in any other tank, these other fish would blow you away, but in this tank, for me, these stingrays just, they stopped me dead. I was gobsmacked, I went quiet and I just stood there recording them. And this is like a sign of the things to come. You know, I think Wirral Aquatics is going to be one of them shops that's absolutely amazing, and it's, you know, straight away showcasing top fish. Look at them. I just couldn't get enough of these. So let's get down to business. Look at the difference in the shop. Look at all them plants. He's had a massive plant order in recently, and the plants are absolutely amazing. He's just in the process of getting this tank scaped, and then we go round. Here's where he's keeping all his bread and butter community fish, and some of the tanks are stocked already. He was waiting for a massive order. Here we go. There's some of the, I think there was some really nice swordtails and stuff in there, but we'll come back to the fish later. Just want to show the shop. Here's some of the extra special bit, and this is where he was going to keep his big cichlids. If you remember rightly, this was on the back wall, and he's starting to get some in at the moment. I think the trophies were from a local breed. I think there was some more, and here's some dry goods. Obviously everyone's favourite filter, or most people's favourite filter, the Fluval series. Everyone loves the Fluval FX series, don't they? Best canister filters. And then his shrimp section, he's starting to get together. I think he says he's got 5 different types of shrimps coming in. And then look at this. This is his plant section, and the plants in here were absolutely stunning. Look at the Rotala, it's all exploded with colour already. I wanted to take the time to showcase this light. It's the Fluval Plant 3.0, and as many of you probably know, I use this light. I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best lights out there. And then here's a look at the shrimp and his fighting fish, or beta, whatever one wants to call it. Right guys, so let's showcase some of the fish. If you look, there's labels on all the tanks. So there's some albino cories there, and then there's some platies and swordtails along this rack. This is the bread and butter community rack, and some really nice examples. But if you look, he's been working hard on inventory where he's going to keep everything, and everything's labelled up, ready to go. He's got some massive orders coming in over the next, he might even have them by the time this video's gone out, but he's working on some massive orders, and I thought I'd showcase some of the fish. Look at the colour of them, like they're stunning already. And then we've got some Bosmoni here. Everyone who watches my videos know I've been working with Bosmoni, trying to get some breeding projects with rainbows, and it's nice to see them pop up in the shops now. And one thing I noticed about rainbows is if they colour up, everyone buys them, but if, you know, the females and stuff seem to get left behind. And it's one of them fish, isn't it, that I absolutely love them, and it's hard to find them looking great in the shops, because as I say, if they do look great, everyone buys them. And then here's the dwarf neon rainbows. I haven't actually got any of these at the moment, but I've bred them in the past and they're absolutely stunning fish. And what I find is if you haven't got a tank big enough for the likes of Bosmoni, stuff like that, then these are a good alternative. And in fact, they're just as nice a fish, they're just a bit smaller. But when they colour up, the neon blue with stunning red finish, absolutely gorgeous fish, and the behaviour is really interesting. Right, we're on to the back rack now, and this is the one where Steve said he was going to keep something a little bit special. And looking around, I was seeing some like really cool fish, so stuff that like people really love in the hobby, and I thought I'd give it a quick look. Congo tetras, that's one of people's favourites, isn't it? And I didn't realise how big Congo's got until recently. It blew me away. maybe black widow tetra, but they're absolutely massive, aren't they, these African tetras? But I thought I'd showcase them because they're really popular. And if I'm honest, I thought this rack would be heavily influenced by what Steve breeds and stuff, and that doesn't seem to be the case. He seems to be showcasing some really special fish. And then we got some rams in here. These rams were absolutely stunning. And if I'm honest, I've got a soft spot for these little cichlids like this, like the likes of rams, epistogramas, and then like Tanganyika and Shelly, stuff like that. They've always fascinated me, and I'd love to get some breeding projects going with eventually with little dwarf cichlids like these, and as I say, Shellies, epistos. They're just really stunning fish to me, and they've always appealed to me. And then there's some Cories, Julie Cories, it says on the label. I love Cories. Aren't they? They're absolutely nuts, aren't they? I never really appreciated what they do for your tank until recently. And I know a lot of people in the hobby have a soft spot for your Cories and your plecos and stuff, so it's nice to see some so soon in the shop. I know Steve has a soft spot for the likes of these Cories and some plecos and stuff, so it's nice. I can't wait to see what he stocks. And that's one of the things that stands out for me as a hobbyist is, you know, when you go into a shop and if you know the owner of the shop and stuff, it's nice to see the inspiration that they get from their individual hobby, you know, to see what fish, because if you know the shop owner and you know their background with fish, it's nice to see their influence in their shop and what inspires them. And it, you know, so it's good to see the likes of Cories and plecos and stuff. And then we come to a nice tank there was a lot of different angels in here, and if I'm honest, it was Steve that I see in his collection that really inspired me. Yeah, it was Steve's personal collection of angels that actually got me really into collecting angels, and I've been really into the wild types ever since, and Steve's had a major impact on that, I'm not going to lie. Look at these. Now this was another standout tank for me, Tropheus. I absolutely love Tropheus. I'd love to set up a tank of these one day, and I'd like to do like a really heavily scaped rock tank, get a load of these in, get them all breeding out. They're just a special fish to me. Everyone knows I've got a soft spot for Lake Tanganyika fish, and I have had for the last few years, and obviously I've had Frontosa as a big part of my collection, but these, I'd love to keep some of these. They're just amazing, they're so active, it's such a nice tank to watch. Right then, these came in as a breeding pair, and it was nice to see a breeding pair in a shop, and because every time I go in a shop, if I see a fish once, the first thing I'm looking for is a breeding pair. So it was nice to see him stocking a breeding pair in the shop already, because you know everyone who wants to breed fish, the first thing they'll ask is, have you got a breeding pair? If not, it's can I take half a dozen juveniles then, so you can grow them out yourself. And I know a lot of people do that, so to see a breeding pair so soon, it's great. And then we've got a Lake Malawi tank, and I feel like African cichlids starting to creep back into the hobby. We haven't seen them for years, and obviously my thing is Lake Tanganyika is behaviour, really interesting behaviours, and then Lake Malawi, always really colourful fish, make for a really nice colourful tank, and it's great to see them being stocked in the shop once more. I haven't seen many in the shop for a while, so. And then I thought I'd spin round and get one last look at these, the black diamond stingrays with the severums, and the pleco is in the background. He's hides under the rock, under that wood. And you know, I could showcase these all day. I could stand and watch them all day, and they're just really special fish, aren't they? Rays, and obviously fan favourites in the hobby. I absolutely love them, and yeah, you could just watch them all day. Let's get on to showcasing some of the stock. Look at the plants. Absolutely cracking selection of plants already. All his tanks are stocked. These tanks that the plants are in are actually goldfish, and you know, people know I've got a soft spot for goldfish, and Steve was telling me he's found a cracking supplier, so I'm looking forward to that. And then some of his dry goods, medications, treatments, and then the food selection. He's not messing around with the food selection. He's got Hikari and his own selection of foods, and he really wants to show. I think one of the goals for Wirral Aquatics, by the sound of it, is to stock some specialist foods, and that really excites me. Look at these, some scaper tanks, And then we've got a section for ornament. Everyone knows the law in the hobby is you start with multicoloured gravel and SpongeBob houses, so Wirral doing their bit. And then here we go, got our frozen food section. I absolutely love frozen food. I buy it every time I visit a fish shop, and I'll never be able to get enough frozen food. And then the dry foods, as I mentioned before, I just wanted to showcase the filters on the top as well. But cracking selection of fish foods here already, and I know a lot of people who use these foods. Fibre Bites, favourite, and then the sinking cichlid pellets is another one I use, and then he's got a cracking selection of Hikari goldfish foods there as well. There's definitely a lot of attention to detail there with foods as well, so that's a good thing. And he had the fridge at the front for live, that's another exciting one. Here we go, we've got some yellow labs here, and then a few more Corys. Thought we'd have a quick nose round. Gold laser Corys, didn't even notice them. There's some more green lasers, and then Julie's. The selection of Corys was amazing, Stairbys as well. And then we've got some more Rams, sorry. Yeah. Here's another look at the angels. There's some labels on angels, and I'll be honest, if I see them angels in this shop, I'll probably be walking out with half a dozen. And then some stunning gouramis, and yeah, these really stood out. The colour was amazing on them. They really bright. I've never seen gouramis that bright. One last look at the rams. I could look at rams all day. I love them. And then finally, this board, he wants local breeders to be able to showcase their fish in a shop.